Lee Walker.
Yeah, Phil, looking forward to commentating today. Should be an exciting group. Obviously, Kyren will start favourite, but it's not going to be easy, that's for sure.
For Wilson, the wish list is easy. He just wants to repeat the way he played in the first phase. He won Group 5, winning 9 frames, losing only 1. And in doing that, he compiled 4 centuries. He beat Josh Mulholland 3-0, had a break of 111. He then beat Louis Heathcote 3-0. Heathcote scored 2 points in the match, as Wilson made 1-2-8 and 1-3-4, which might have been a 1-4-7, but for a missed pink. And then he put together another century in beating Andy Hicks 3-1. So in this format, Lee, you can't get much better than that.
No, certainly not. Kyren, very heavy scorer. And he'll be looking to do exactly the same here today.
Not very often Mark Williams is consigned to table 2, but that's the case today. It looks as though Lee's pal is right in amongst them at the first available opportunity.
Yeah, I was looking forward to giving him some stick today, Phil, but unfortunately I'm not going to be able to now. Yep, slight mistake there from Sanderson. Wanted to drop into the reds closest to the pink. See the slide off the first cushion there. He's come a little bit low and he's left the chance of this red. Not easy.
But easier on the day when the tables have been recovered, i.e. at the start of the week. That, though, would have gone in on Friday night.
Six. Seven.
Playing for the black this time. If he can pot the black, he play for the red closest to the cushion. And it looks like, well, actually it looks like with the way he's looking at the top end of the table, he's not on the black. So it'll just be a safety shot. He'll want to cover the right hand side of the table, not to leave an easy safety shot for Sanderson.
Kyren Wilson, 7.
Kyren Wilson and Mark Williams are the obvious big hitters out there today, and they are in the same boat. They're desperately trying to win this tournament to qualify for the Champion of Champions. Not in the field yet. Notable absentees thus far, together with Neil Robertson.
Yeah, if either of them can get through today, they'll just be one more day away from getting into the Champion of Champions, and that will be an amazing start to the season.
One.
Excellent red into the middle. No position though. So it'll be same shot. You'll want to cover the right hand side of the table. See again the red into the center. Just wanted to come a little bit further there and leave himself a shot at the black. You want to cover that right-hand side of the table here. Just
Kyren
checking.
Wilson, what?
Just checking to see if there's a gap. Don't think there is.
I was impressed with Sanderson Lam in the initial phase. He won Group 12. He beat Zangander 3-1. Made 4 breaks over 50 in that match. He drew 2-2 with Barry Hawkins and then beat Jamie O'Neill 3-1. And by accumulating 7 points, did enough.
Yeah, tough group that as well to come through. And you see again there the slide off the cushion.
Kyren Wilson,
Only had a small target to drop in there, but the slide, new cloth. You can see the slide there. Probably on his table at home, he would have been resting in the reds by the pink there and left nothing on for Kyren. But because the cloth is brand new, the cushion will slide quite a bit, and he's left Kyren a decent chance now.
You might be saying to yourself, well, hold on a minute, Kyren Wilson won the European Masters last season. And of course he will defend next month. But that was in the previous year's qualification period for the Champion of Champions. I really do hope he qualifies, because he gives every tournament he plays in such a boost. He's a wonderful ambassador for the game, and as you say, what a scorer. He's got that ability to concentrate really hard, and that's what you need to make big numbers.
Yeah, if you look at the way he approaches every shot, it's virtually identical every time. And that is something that, you know, a good tip for anyone that's playing. If you watch how he approaches
24.
this shot, and then how he approaches the next shot, it'll be virtually identical every single shot he plays.
25.
Find something that works and repeat it. Repetition, big key in this game. And he is exceptionally good at it.
And he loves these Rasson tables.
32.
In 2020-21, he completed a unique Championship League double. Won the ranking event and the
33.
invitation tournament in the same season.
Yeah, and he's away to a good start. Yeah, you'd be very surprised if he doesn't go on to win this first frame at this visit now.
Now, have you coached him on this
40.
one, Lee? The one-handed escape?
No, I'll leave that one to him. He does say that he thinks that he can see the angles better if he plays it with one hand. I'm not quite sure how that works, to be honest with you, but that's all his own doing, that one.
So the other question to ask you, because obviously you're really good pals with him, throughout the course of this season, are we going to see the Mark Williams tickling to the Reds break-off?
I think it would depend if he broke off 2 or 3 times and his opponent was potting a long red off his break every time. I think that's the reason why he started to use it. He's gone away from that now. And yeah, I don't think he wants to play it, but I think he was just fed up of playing opponents that knocked in the first red straight off his break. So that was the only reason why he did it. But it certainly caused a lot of controversy, didn't it?
56.
Well, when they were talking about banning the break, that would have been a terrible precedent, because it's a perfectly legal shot.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't understand that. You know,
57.
You're allowed to play any, whether it's a negative shot or whatever shot it is, you're allowed to play whatever shot you want. So I didn't see how that was ever going to be a rule that they could bring in, but
62.
This wasn't off the break,
63.
but it's going to be a sizable break. Maybe even his 5th century of the tournament. He's definitely won the first frame, Kyren Wilson.
yeah, looks in great form again. Like I said, that cue action and routine that he has, it's almost,
70.
well, it is identical every single shot. And again, standing him in really good stead here. Although it's only the first frame, you know, if
71.
Sanderson is looking to get through this group, you know, we'll have to try and get something out of this match, I think. You certainly don't want to give Kyren Wilson a head start.
And just to hammer home a point we keep repeating, but it's worth mentioning again here, it's pertinent. If you can make a large break, and it comes down to that to be the tiebreaker, obviously you're at an advantage.
78.
Yeah, I think, you know, I think we saw it in one of the last groups I commentated on. Mark Williams and Dylan Emery were level going into the last game, but Mark Williams had a higher break, so he only needed a draw into the last
85.
game instead of a win, which you know, can make a big difference.
$86.
So we'll definitely want to clear these.
91.
Possible 118 if he clears the table.
93. 96. 100.
Oh, and a nice little kiss as well, as if to say, that's your reward for reaching 3 figures.
105. 111. 118.
What a strike rate. 11 frames
Kyren
played by Kyren Wilson in the BetVictor Championship League to start the season. And in those 11 frames, he's now compiled 5 centuries. Looking good. Kyren Wilson, he could not have mailed in for a more impressive start than that. A clearance of
Thank you.
118
Printer.
in the first frame to take
Kyren
a 1-0
Wilson today.
lead over Sanderson Lam. He looks in exactly the same form that he displayed in the first phase, i.e. excellent. They have played before, these two, just on the one occasion. Quite a low-key match. Wilson won 5-2 in the last 32 of the 2017 China Open.
Half chance here for Sanderson. Just caught it a little bit thick. That's the only problem when you miss the ball thick off a shot like that. The white doesn't go down the table. And he's left Kyren straight in again.
With the rest. Hold the back page, he's missed one.
Yeah, surprising there. He's usually one of the best players on tour with the rest. So he'd be disappointed with that. Sanderson will be very happy to see that red wobble in the jaws. Would have preferred it if it had stayed on the pocket, but he would have thought he'd have been fearing that Kyren would have been in again, in around the black, where he's so good. So to get away with Kyren not scoring anything, he'd be very, very happy.
A much scrappier opening frame on the other table, which is hosting Group F. Mark Williams leads by 50 points to 22 against Barry Pinches. 4 reds remaining.
Foul.
So we saw the thick contact on the
Kyren
red, the
Wilson
long
for.
red that he attempted off the break, and then we saw too thin a contact on the safety shot. And he's gone in off. I don't think he's left. Doesn't look like he's left a long red on for Kyren.
I think he was trying to squeeze through for one with a shot to nothing element in it, but seems to me a little pie in the sky, that.
Yeah, I think he's looking at the long red, the stun across. Choice of pink or black. Usually very good at this type of shot.
That most certainly wasn't a shot to nothing. It was full-blooded. And now Lam has got a really good chance to start some scoring.
Well,
Yeah, this was just what Sanderson would have wanted. Nice chance around the black. Black in the open, pink in the open. 5 or 6 open reds.
eight.
I thought
9.
over the last season and a half, maybe, that Lam has looked a lot more comfortable. He certainly played well in his group. In that match against Zhang Anda, which got his winning day underway, he had breaks of 97, 68, 67 and 57. When he was in the balls, he looked assured.
14.
Yeah, that's top quality.
15.
You'll be looking for, after the first frame, didn't really get a chance, so just happy to be, wants to be potting some balls. He's got a nice few open reds. And doesn't look too happy with that one though. Don't know.
21.
The red obviously goes, yeah. But he wanted to be a lot straighter on this red, so he could have run through for the black. Looks like he's gonna maybe cannon the red, or if he can slip past the red, he's got to judge this nicely to get on the black. This could easily go wrong. Trying to screw into the pack, pot the red, screw into the pack, and whatever you do, do not miss the red.
Sanderson Lam.
Most important
21.
thing there, make sure the red goes in, even if you don't get on a colour. And now he split the reds, virtually split every red there, and he's left Kyren Wilson right in amongst the balls here.
As a renowned coach, Lee, you would be the first to notice that was not a smooth delivery of the cue.
Yeah, just tried it. You could see the cue ball. He was trying to pot the red there, screw off the pack and screw up towards the blue, and kind of jabbed at that one a little bit, and didn't get any reaction out of the cue ball. Cue ball stayed in the pack of reds, and just to make it even worse, split the reds everywhere, and what should have been a good chance for Sanderson has now turned into a good chance for Kyren.
8.
Yes, the top boys love it. They lick their lips when a player does their development work for them and spreads the reds out far and wide.
Yeah, in that situation, you know, you want to try, obviously, to try and score, but you know, if you just against these top, well, against anybody, any professional player, but especially against these top boys, you can't afford to miss easy balls around the top end of the table. And also psychologically, they're the ones there that have a bad effect on you, because Sanderson knows that
16.
he should have been the one at the table here, and now he's got to watch his opponent most likely pop most of these balls.
Thank you. 17.
Left himself awkwardly over the red for the black, so the alternative clearly is pink.
Yeah, shouldn't be a problem. Stun the pink into the middle. Red into the opposite middle.
$23.
Although Kyren made a century break in the first frame, Sanderson didn't really do much wrong, didn't have any chances in the first frame, so you know, the first frame wouldn't have hurt him that much, even though he lost it. But this one had a very nice chance. Was in pretty good position. Missed an easy red, and those are the frames that hurt you a lot more when you've had that chance.
31. $32. 39. 40. Yep.
Played that nicely. Got a nice angle on this
47.
red. Easy pot this red and stun off the cushion for the black.
Thank you.
30 points in front. Black to
48.
follow, still 67 on the table. The way the reds are situated, you'd be very surprised if Sanderson gets back to the table.
$55.
Knowing Wilson,
56.
yes, the first priority, and quite rightly so, will be to win the frame. But then he'll be targeting another century.
Absolutely. Five centuries in 11 frames is an incredible standard, and there's every chance
63.
he could make another one, yeah. But first things first, this red and a colour, a high value colour, to give him a 2-0 lead.
$64.
Just a little bit worried there that the white wasn't going to come far enough for the black, but it's okay.
There's every chance that we'll have two frames over here in the books before the first frame on table 2 is complete.
Thank you.
But hold on a
Kyren
minute,
Wilson.
there's a twist.
64.
The black is left in the jaws, and Wilson isn't over the line yet.
Yeah, and that's 2 misses with the rest now. And that was frame ball as well. So, still hope in this frame for Sanderson.
Not now.
No, and Kyren will be very relieved. Missed the black, gave Sanderson not by no means an easy chance there with the way the reg is situated, but to miss a black frame ball and then come back to the table with the red hanging over the pocket, he'll be very, very pleased. I think he's going to open his account with the rest here as well, Phil. I can't see him missing this one.
Good call, Lee.
$8. Thank you.
Normal service will be resumed.
9.
And the other thing with Wilson, apart from being very good with the rest, he's also a really
60.
competent doubler. As he misses that one, but
Kyren
in
Wilson,
fairness,
16
there wasn't a
on the
great
frame.
amount of concentration in that shot because he knew full well the frame had been well and truly won. Kyren Wilson leads Sanderson Lam 2-0. 2 frames 1, 2 sizable breaks constructed by Kyren Wilson, and he leads Sanderson Lam 2-0. The first frame on table 2 is still in progress. Mark Williams has potted what we believe to be frame ball, the green, but only 24 points behind with 22 on. Barry Pinch is well within his rights to try and fight it out for a snooker. It's been a really fragmentary frame, Lee.
Yes, there was been a few shots that I could have commented on. Unfortunately, not got the opportunity. I will have a chat to him in the car on the way home, though, about them.
Finches actually was a little unfortunate. He potted the yellow from distance and snookered himself on the green. So it might have been a different outcome, and it still could be that Williams doesn't win the frame if Pinches can force the snooker.
Thank you. Frame 3. Sanderson Lam to break.
As always, we'll keep you right up to speed on table 2, and if you want to see all of the action there today and throughout the week, it's available on the Matchroom Multisport YouTube channel.
Kyren coming around, having a look if he takes on this red on the right hand side of the table and he gets onto the black. Is this the only red that he can leave? Has left a possible shot to the yellow pocket. Not easy, but if it's straight, pretty sure Sanderson will take it on.
The first frame on table 2 is over. Williams, unsurprisingly, leads 1-0. Next up on table 1, one of my favourites, Anthony Hamilton. He's taking on the reigning shootout champion, Chris Wakelin.
Fantastic player, Anthony.
1.
Lovely shot there from Kyren. Sanderson was maybe thinking he was playing a shot to nothing there, but the red came down, although he blocked the red with the black. He's played a lovely little plant. And he's not played the best shot there. He could be okay if he can get through to the red into the centre,
8.
and he obviously can because he's done pretty quick.
Nine.
And unfortunately for Sanderson, Kyren is back in amongst the balls, black open. Not
60.
so many open reds this time, so he'd be thinking about trying to get into that pack of reds.
17.
Played the
24.
fulsome contact rather than the skim. Now the red will pot, but what a horrible shot.
Yeah, these certainly not nice. Cutting back into a blind pocket. Not easy, very missable. Stretching as well. Yeah, played it very well. Just needs the white to bounce a little bit.
25.
Certainly not ideal position. Just depends on what angle he's got. Yeah, just played a little cannon into the pack. I think he's still got possibility of the outside of the 2 reds on the left-hand side.
Kyren Wilson, 32.
Well, a useful start. Especially with Lam already 2-0 down. He's under huge pressure. He knows his next mistake could well be his last mistake. And history has shown us that you can recover from the loss of your first match to win a group. But if you lose it 3-0, boy, is the task difficult, especially if your opponents keep potting balls like that.
Yeah, this is a group that goes on all day, but if you're looking to get through this group, if Kyren gets off to a 3-0 start, yeah, it's going to be very, very difficult for Sanderson to catch him.
Five. Kyren Wilson, 5.
Not an easy red, but I expected Kyren to get it.
Yes, he was flawless in the first frame. Missed a couple of pots we didn't expect in the second. And the same thing here in the third. He sets himself such high standards that when a few start to go astray, he gets disappointed. I won't say frustrated, because he's got a very good temperament.
Yeah, I think he's got, his all-round game is very, very good. Good in all departments. Maybe not safety after that shot, but...
Well, I can only assume from his reaction that the cue ball might have deviated off course there. He was completely dumbfounded by it.
Yeah, we saw... I think we saw a shot on table 2 that Mark Williams played a little bit earlier, where the white kind of drifted out a little bit, so maybe they are just turning out a little bit, and Sanderson will be very disappointed with that. It's only going to be a safety shot now.
Sanderson Lam, 1.
So, half chance here for Sanderson. 36 behind, 2-0 down. He's not going to get many more, I don't think, so I'm going to try and make the most of this one. Excellent long red.
1.
Struck it very well. Stunned around onto the black. So we see this long red again. Excellent shot. Going through the gap of the pack and the black to get on the black.
And what Lam has got to keep telling himself is that if he could possibly salvage this frame and the next, that would be an immense boost. And a setback for Wilson.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, these short matches can change very quickly. You know, if Sanderson can, you know, make a break here and win this frame, you know, and get out of this match 2-2, you know, that would be a fantastic result for him after the first 2 frames. He's just got to keep this one shot at a time. Unfortunately, that's gone slightly wrong.
40.
Played the cannon. He's not got on anything. He's got to be a little bit careful here. He doesn't want to leave the red, which is closest to the right-hand corner pocket. So he needs to get a good cue ball.
Sanderson Lam. 40.
Not as telling a safety as he wanted. He got his place back on the tour last summer via Q School, so this is the second year of a 2-year card, and Lam needs points.
Yeah, and there we see, just as I said, needed to get that cue ball behind the green. Kyren Wilson, excellent long potter. By no means easy, that shot, cueing white close to the cushion. Even though the red was not too far away from the pocket, that was still a tough pot. Played it very well. Nice angle on the blue. And if this shot goes right, just about to say, if this shot goes right, it's going to be the end of the frame, but it hasn't.
6.
I think it's only going to be a safety shot here for Kyren. It's 28 points in front.
Kyren Wilson. 6.
Good length. White very close to the cushion. Not sure if Sanderson has maybe got a chance of a shot to nothing here. Not sure if this red passes through the gap. Yeah, it was quite tight. I think it probably did, but it was quite tight, but he still played a good shot. Yeah, and he's covered the left-hand side there.
And you see time and time again that playing a safety off a red that's located where the lone red on its own is situated on that right-hand side cushion. Time and time again you see this kind of safety completely botched, even by the very best.
Yeah, I think Kyren, I can't see him playing back into bulk yet. Oh. Yeah, I didn't really think about the pot there. I'm not sure whether he was playing that or not, to be honest, Phil.
Well, I'd be astounded if he did play it.
Yeah.
He didn't apologise, though.
No, he may have done, but certainly his first thought was to get the white roughly where he did get it, but yes, Sanderson played an excellent safety there. One of the few times he's had Kyren in trouble.
Wilson 1.
Unfortunately for Sanderson, the red has gone in, but he's still in the frame. He's only 29 points behind. All the reds are in the open. So if he could get a chance, he could still pinch this frame. Lovely frame developing on table 2 there, Phil.
Well, it's not dissimilar to a frame we saw between Mahai Long and Mink Nutcherat on Friday night. The black over the pocket, the reds inevitably congregating around it. Could be a re-rack.
One.
Not here. Wilson just keeps knocking them in.
Yeah, another excellent long red. You really can't afford to leave Kyren Wilson shots like that. Very, very good at that type of shot. Doesn't seem to have much angle on the brown. So it looks like he'll just be rolling up behind the yellow. Could push it to the cushion. Yeah, he pushed it to the cushion.
Kyren Wilson. One.
Yeah, extra value. So brown now on the ball cushion. The yellow very awkward on the side cushion. And pink on top cushion.
Yeah. That one was thin.
As Joe Johnson, the 1986 world champion, always says, he caught the paint.
Yeah, I think an excellent tip there for you, for players learning the game. Kyren Wilson's shot choice there, put in the yellow safe, now makes him very strong. I was just about to say, now makes him very strong favourite in this frame. Well, he's knocked it out and he's actually put it in a safe-ish position. But this is a good chance now for Sanderson.
One.
Yeah, that was a calamity shot really from Kyren Wilson, and he missed it by a mile.
Yeah.
Lam has to make his presence felt.
The excellent shot choice that he played to put the yellow safe, and then attempting this long red and cannon the other red and knock the yellow out.
9. $60.
If he takes reasonable
17.
colours off the last 2 reds, he won't need the pink.
Yeah, he's not sure what angle he's got yet. Needs to be careful. Don't force this around and miss the black. Yeah, he's played that well.
$24.
So like you said, Phil, if he's looking at the score here, if he can take a red and a blue, and that's not hard enough.
25.
If he had taken the red and then got on the blue, potted the blue, he would have been level. So yeah, yellow, green, brown, blue would have put him 14 in front, and he wouldn't have needed the pink. And now he's not got the angle on the green to get on the yellow. So it's just going to be pot the green and then a safety shot.
Yes, not winning the frame at this visit, but right back in the frame.
28. Thank you. Sanderson Lam. 28.
That, though, at this level was loose.
Yeah, he'd be disappointed with that, for sure. Like you say, he's probably not going to lose the frame from this shot that Kyren's going to play. But he could have had Kyren in a lot of trouble there. This level, it's not just about getting the ball safe, it's about putting your opponent in trouble, especially against these top players. Just wanted that yellow to run on. So, gearing himself up here, he's going to take this yellow on. Good effort. Very close. Would have been nicely on the green.
But watch now with Wilson, how he plans this out, then executes. See what I mean? Yellow close to black as well, increasing the possibilities of a free ball or extra points.
Yeah, so that's what I said. It's not just about getting the ball safe, it's about putting your opponent in trouble. And whether or not he hits this, if he doesn't get it safe, this could be Sanderson's last shot. It's a good hit. From where he was, I suppose he'll have to take that. But with Kyren Wilson's long pot in, certainly wouldn't be surprised if he knocks this in.
He wasn't close. The brown off the cushion. And now Lam should pull one back.
Yeah, he just had to force that. And it was the angle that he had to get the right angle on the green to get on the brown. So I had to force it in.
Two.
That's an excellent shot from Sanderson there. Controlled that really well. Never easy, those shots. And he's played that to perfection.
Five.
Pot the brown. Nice angle on the blue. You want to get as close when potting this brown here. Nice angle on the blue to get as close to this pink as he... Oh, has he overdone it?
9.
Yeah, that's not a good shot. I think he's still got enough angle to get on the pink, but he's made it a lot more difficult. Yeah, and that all stemmed from the brown. Very poor shot from Sanderson on the brown.
Professionals can manufacture angles, but that was beyond Lam. It would have been beyond almost anyone. Tantalisingly, he's 12 in front, 13 on the table.
Yeah, we go back to the shot that he
40.
That he played on the last red. If he had taken the blue, he would have not needed that pink.
You know, incredibly, before the start of the Mark Williams Barry Pinches match, I was talking to Rob Spencer, one of our referees, and we were talking about this situation and when the referee should intervene. Mark Williams 23 points ahead, so he doesn't want to re-rack. Pinches, I think, would very much like to. It's a real stalemate situation over there, and surely the referee, John Pellew, will step in shortly.
Yeah, I won't be mentioning anything about this frame.
Well, of course, if it is re-racked, it won't officially exist.
Oh, I've just taken a picture of the balls, Phil, so I can remind him later. The shot Sanderson played on the pink wasn't a very good one, and now he's in a bit of trouble here. And that, from where he was, is a very good shot.
It is, although one has to say he could find himself in more strife after this.
Yep. Yeah, obviously didn't have the angle. I thought he could have played pink up and down and got the white in behind the black. Obviously didn't have that angle. But main thing always in this situation, get that pink safe.
Unlike there, what a disaster.
Yeah, that's a shame for Sanderson. That is an absolute, like you said, Phil, that's an absolute disaster.
Six.
But the black, not a total certainty. I've seen these wobbled.
Yeah, certainly have. But you'd be very surprised if Kyren Wilson misses this.
Into the heart of the pocket. And with that, Kyren Wilson, scoreboard-wise, makes a flawless start. 118 clearance in the first frame. Set the pattern.